Right. So, just to start off with, 2020 has been an extremely challenging year for so many people. And today, what we wanted to speak about was just to how TNS can help offer some benefits to brewers and how we can help brewers in the modern brewing world. So, just a little bit about us. We are a hop company based in the southeast of England, in Kent in particular. And we have industry expertise in delivering high quality natural hop extracts. We're a privately owned and independent company, and we use our in-house technical expertise and technology to create natural hop extracts that are unique and tunable for brewers. And we have a dedicated technical support team, which spans an expertise across application in various beverages, whether it's beer or non-alcoholic beverages, analytical services, and we also offer training for brewers on how to get to use a hop extracts. So we start with the best quality hops that we can possibly source. And the way that we see hops and the way that we look at hops is just a little bit different. Everybody knows in this brewing world what a hop is and what they do. But we look at hops for each of their component parts and what they can kind of provide the brewer and provide us. So we work with hops to work with the challenges in the current brewing industry because it's an evolving brewing culture, and this year in particular has thrown challenges at each and every person. So we've all kind of needed to learn how to adapt. And hop extracts can provide a solution to these challenges. So they can help to produce diverse beer style ranges, reduce your beer losses, increase capacity, and help to maintain your beer aroma and flavor quality, which is ultimately what everybody's after when they're trying to brew and produce beer from their own brewery. And another benefit is that TNS products are 100% natural as well. So why is this important and why should we be using natural hop extracts? And 2020 brings a lot of unwanted challenges, again, as I've said, that we haven't really known how to adapt to, but what TNS is specializing in is how we can help brewers adapt to these challenges. So the brewing process is an inefficient process, and there's poor utilization of hops in particular. And in dry hopping, brewers can see up to 30% losses with dry hopping. So we're here because we want to provide another solution to the hops and using hops in the brewing industry, as hops are a finite resource and they're subject to variability each year, and they're dependent on their environment and regular shortages due to global warming. And we'll hear more about the hop harvest later on, but we're here to kind of do something a little bit different with the hops that we traditionally use as either pellets or whole cones. So liquid natural hop extracts can provide several benefits to a brewer, and a few that I want to highlight are, first of all, a standardized product. So with using natural hop extracts, you'll be using the same product each and every time, and it's one standardized edition, and you'll have that consistency, which is really important. Next is the minimization of beer loss, as I previously mentioned. Beer losses are a huge problem with particularly dry hopping, and I know each and every brewer is trying to look how to save in any way that they can. So by adding less vegetative matter into your vessels, you'll be having less beer loss due to absorption into that vegetative matter. Another thing that we really focus on doing is producing types during a time of limited hop availability. So case in point, there was a shortage of citra hops a few years ago. And what we do is we start to look at the various components within a hop oil and how we can actually produce a citra type so that a brewer still has access to the characteristics within citra. And finally, using natural hop extracts are sustainable. They're sustainable for your brewery and sustainable in size as well because you have less storage space, and they're overall more sustainable to use throughout the growth of your brewery because you'll have consistency each and every time you use it. So I had previously kind of touched on this before, but what TNS does and what I particularly do in the research and development department is we look at a whole varietal oil and we look at the various components of a hop oil and see what the key components are that make up that hop oil. So we'll look at things like monoterpene hydrocarbons, oxygenated monoterpenoids, Not to confuse anybody, these are big words, but basically they're each and every aroma compound that makes up your characteristic hop variety. What we'll do is we'll look at each hop variety, and then we'll use the various components of each hop variety as building blocks. So we'll take a whole hop oil and we'll fractionate this oil and essentially chop it up into bits where then we have these building blocks such as hydrocarbons, esters, ketones and epoxides and alcohols, which then we can have a play with and reconstruct in various different ways to make a citrus type, a Saz type, or any other type of hop that might have had a bad harvest year or that's difficult to source. So we have a lot of flexibility with our technology and with our patented fractionation technology. So that brings us to our hop inspiration range. We've used this fractionation process to build our hop inspiration range, which is all of our product line. So I'll be talking on these a little bit later in more detail, but we have products for late hopping, dry hopping, fruit addition, and non-alcoholic beers. So we've kind of taken the hops and broken them into bits, and now we're reconstructing them back into different products for different purposes. So to dive in a little bit deeper, you can see that in this quick schematic of a brew house and how kind of the workflow in a brewery, you can see where cones and pellets would typically be added. But the good thing about hop inspiration products is that they're able to be added post-fermentation. And so if you're not adding them into your process, you're going to have less loss through beer absorption. And you're also going to have a little bit more tunability later on in your process, which is really helpful and really handy if you're looking to dial in specific flavors and aromas. If you add the hop inspiration line in the fermentation tank during fermentation, you'll see a little bit lower utilization, but you will get some biotransformation character in your final beer, which I know a lot of brewers have been starting to play with and experiment more around. So the good things about the hop inspiration line is that they're really tunable and that you can use them however you want to use them. And it's a toolkit really where you can just build upon what you already have. So to dive in a little bit further, pardon me, I'm just going to take a sip of water here. I'll first just kind of do a quick run through of the range of what we have. So a HotBurst is what we have for a dry hop replacement or supplement really. And this is an aromatic whole varietal oil that's widely used in IPAs, New England IPAs, and hoppy lagers. The benefits of using HotBurst is that you'll see reduces in losses, which is great, and you'll have a reduced cleaning time because you won't have to clean out all your vegetative matter and your trub. That's also going to reduce your water usage, which is another key for sustainability. You're going to have shortened dry hopping time down from a few days down to a few hours, which is great. And you're going to have a more consistent product because you're going to be adding the same level of hop aroma each and every time into your brew. And again, as we've said, hop availability, and you're going to have a stable supply. Then moving on to our Hop Shot. Our Hop Shot product is designed as a late hop edition or whirlpool edition. And this is a fractionated hop oil, which is widely used in lager styles and in ales. And it's used as, again, a replacement or a supplement to complement that late hop character. And the benefits of using a Hop Shot is that it's another toolkit or another tool in a brewer's toolkit to be able to fine-tune individual characters. So a brewer can fine-tune spicy characters, floral characteristics, herbal, citrus, kind of whatever they're looking to enhance, they can use a Hop Shot to boost this characteristic. And it also develops complexity without any additional bitterness, which is a perk because in whirlpool hop additions, you might have semi-summarization, and that won't happen with a Hop Shot. And again, as we've said, we have consistent availability and stability of supply. And our Hop Plus range is actually quite interesting because what we use for our Hop Plus range is we use the whole varietal or fractionated hop oil and a botanical flavor. And what we'll do is we'll assess the components within each hop variety and each flavor that we're looking to enhance. And we'll see how we can bring these two together to create a synergistic reaction and really enhance the specific flavor that we're targeting. So for example, if we're looking to target a mango flavor, we'll look at both and see how we can really enhance the characteristics of mango in the hop and in the flavor itself. So these are blended flavors and aromas, and they're able to add flavor to beer instantly. So it's another perk where a brewer doesn't have to do a few trial brews and scale-up brews using whole fruit or fruit purees to get the right amount of fruit. If this is just added on the bench, you can do a quick dosing trial to determine what the right level is, and you don't need to do the big scale-up in several trial brews. It's very quick to be able to use, and it eliminates that long and lengthy prep time. There's no waste again, so you're not going to be having any of the residual fruit coming out of your fermenter, which again saves on cleaning, and you're not going to be adding any fermentable sugars, which is sometimes an issue with adding fruits and other flavors into beer. And just on the right-hand side of the screen here, we have a few new Hop Plus products, which we've just introduced. So if anybody is curious or has any questions about them, please get in touch. We can discuss samples if anybody is interested. And moving on to the Hop Zero. So Hop Zero is another really interesting tool that we have within our toolkit. And so this develops hop character in low alcohol beer. And within our Hop Zero range, we have 4 core products, which is Hop Zero Body, Clarity, Fruity, and Dry. And using these tools, that can help us build a base beer for which we can add hop aroma on top of it. So typically, non-alcoholic beers can be often kind of sweet, have some worty flavors, really low body. And the Hop Zero range is designed to, as you'll see, build body. By adding Hop Zero Clarity, you can actually clear up a lot of these sweet, worty flavors. Hop Zero Fruity offers fermentation flavor that's often lost in the production of non-alcoholic beers. And Hop Zero Dry dries out the beer as well. So you can reduce the sweetness that a lot of non-alcoholic beers typically have. So it's a really handy way to kind of build a non-alcoholic beer. And again, it's a completely tunable technology. So you can adjust everything to create a stable base to add your aroma and flavor on top of. So it's really, really fun. I get really excited about this because it's just fun to work with and fun to build recipes and build beers off of this. So within our Hop Zero range, we also have a product which is the Hop Alpha Nizo. So Nizo is natural isomerized alpha acids, and so all beers contain iso-alpha acids for bitterness. But what's interesting about the Nizo is that with our innovative process, we have made a natural isomerized alpha acid product without the use of metal catalysts. So the Nizo is completely suitable for use in low and non-alcoholic beverages as it conforms to the EU regulation 1334/2008. So it's a perfect natural replacement for bittering in all beer applications, whether it's a non-alcoholic or a regular beer. If a brewer is looking to state a completely natural statement, by using Nizo, you can easily add in Nizo and then everything is completely natural within your beer. And it has a low addition rate as well, which is another benefit. So with all these tools that I've quickly and kind of discussed and run over, this allows us to offer beer flavor and consistency, again with a standardized addition added post-fermentation. And with this, you can build different beer styles. So you can make a lager where you're adding more noble hop character. You can build an IPA at a higher dose rate and create kind of like a hoppy IPA. Or again, as I previously stated, you can create a non-alcoholic beer. So the technical team have quite a bit of experience in working with these different beer styles and developing recipes with hop extracts for these. So if you're interested, we're more than happy to provide guidance and provide any assistance that's required. And one benefit I will also just quickly touch on is that there's no hop creep with adding the products, because hop creep has some residual fermentation after dry hop addition. This won't happen with any of the TNS products, so that's another benefit where your ABV will remain consistent. And again, as we've stated, reproducible beer flavor independent of hop crop and variation of variety. And so the last thing that I kind of want to touch on is how a brewer can actually use the TNS products in their own brewery. So a brewer can brew one beer to actually make 3. So you're making 3 different beers and you're really reducing the amount of time and effort having to put in to make 3 different beers. So case in point, a brewer could brew a standard pale ale and divert it into 3 different tanks by adding a HotBurst into one tank, you could create a hoppy US IPA. By adding some noble hop character and some hop shots into another tank, you could create a British Pale Ale. And if a brewer wanted to create something completely different, you could use a Hop Plus to create a citrus pale ale. So these tools are really flexible and they're able to be tunable to exactly what the brewer needs and wants, really. So to kind of wrap up everything that I've touched on, we're here to provide guidance and to help brewers through the challenges in today's world, because as we've all experienced, 2020 has really been an interesting year, which we've all just kind of had to adapt to. So we're here to help, and TNS and the Hop Inspiration range provides comprehensive range for whether it's bittering, aroma, or flavor that you need. And we're here to provide analytical support, technical guidance, and product development if any brewer needs help kind of learning how to use hop extracts and how to use them in their process. So please get in touch with us if you'd like to get started, and I'm happy to take any questions. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen so I can see any Q&As that are here. Let me see. Don't see any questions at the moment. I'll stay here just for a few extra minutes, just in case if there are any questions. And we're available today on our booth. The email sales at Totally Natural Solutions was up on the last slide. So I know I kind of closed out a bit quick, so it's just sales at totallynaturalsolutions.com if anybody is interested. Okay. So I have one question from Daniel. Daniel, the dose rate again for dry hopping is usually, I would say, around 10 to 20 grams per hectoliter. It's dependent on your beer style and what hop character you're looking for. But what we say for our general range is 5 to 40, but we usually find that most brewers find success between 10 and 20 grams per hectoliter. No worries. And Totally Natural Solutions is a UK company. We're a small independent business. And the Hop Plus editions are stable over time, stable in the beer itself. So you'll have the remain consistency of flavor and aroma throughout the time. No worries. Please do. Always happy to help. Good to see you, Johnny Wilson. Okay, I will sign off. Thank you for attending the seminar, and we will hopefully be speaking to a few of you soon.